Today is March 20th. We're back here with part 2, 2015, and we're here to talk to some of the East Palestine residents that have been living or a part of this town for many, many years. Williams were just saying something about football at the park.
That's where they played football. They didn't have a football field at the high school at that time.
That's where all the games took place. Where was the stands at? Did they have any stands already? Or you just brought your lawn chair?
You just stood
They
still.
didn't even have lawn chairs.
Ran up and down.
You just stood by and watched.
No scoreboard, no, how did it?
I don't remember a scoreboard.
But we did have high school football games at the park.
Yep. Yeah, they did.
Huh.
Even where they didn't have enough jerseys for all of them, when they come off, were brought out, another one went in.
Oh. They switch shirts.
Yeah, Sherry went the guy going in.
So some family member might be looking out there nodding, thinking that's her brother, but her brother's standing on the
I don't
sideline.
remember whether they had numbers on them, but they must have had numbers.
Huh. I've never heard a story about that, about the football at the park, but it makes sense. It has to be played somewhere, because the high school field in the new high school didn't take place until about 1937.
Right.
That's when that was built. Now, does anybody have any stories or memories about the Wood Street High School? Good or bad?
I went to the Wood Street High School, and I don't know who provided it, but I remember that it was the government, that they would provide free lunches for the students, especially hot chocolate.
Oh, you remember the hot chocolate part, huh?
Yeah, I'm in the basement.
Now, did they have a gym in there? Was there a gymnasium?
No, I don't think so. I have a picture of it I brought with me.
I have a few of
Of
my...
the old high school. Later on, when the other addition was put on, it was called the Union School for a while. The first part on the east section was the old high school. And then they added on the rest of it, and then later on they changed it to the Wood Street School.
I do have a question about that lot over there.
What?
I do have a question about that lot over there. You know those sandstone that support, that's still over there right now by the Captain Taggart Playground? Now, when I look at the pictures of that old Wood Street High School, I don't see them sandstones in the picture. Now, how did those come about?
I can show you.
There were steps coming down from the school to Wood Street, but I don't remember whether they were the sandstone or what they were.
I've got a couple pictures. Had the school, then it had a little sidewalk, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 feet wide. Then it come down the steps to it was about 10 steps there. Then there was like, you know how you mow grass, a little hillside there. But there was no sandstone anywhere. But when you go over there, them sandstone are there. So I can't figure out how those sandstone got there.
When I first went to work for the school district, they had 6 schools.
Is this what you need?
Yeah, see?
There's only part of them left, about 3 or 4 of them
Right.
left. But there must have been, I'd say, 8 or 10, and we used to come out there to take our yearly pictures and stand there.
But you don't see no sandstone there right now. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know.
Where are they?
But there used to be, like, the metal pipe rails came down here on each side. And on the outside of that, there was a gully that the water run down there.
They were there for a while.
And instead of walking down the steps, we used to slide down those gullies.
Never played them.
I'm just gonna hold on to this for a few seconds, but,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't see any of those real thick, heavy, 4 or 5 feet sandstone in these pictures. Anybody know how they got there?
No.
Because when you go over there, they're still there. The walls kind of falling in and they're crooked but to me, back then, to pick those big heavy bricks up and just move them around when you want to isn't, going to be real easy.
Well, that used to be quite a bit higher when the school was there, because I remember on the east side, the railroad tracks came down from the old mine in Jimtown. And that bank must have been at least 4 or 5 feet high.
That was called Prospect Hill, wasn't it?
Prospect Mine, yeah.
Prospect Mine. Now, Bill Davis, not the senior, but the junior, he told me when they had them railroad cars that come off the hill,
Yeah.
they didn't have any brakes on them. Do you ever hear anything about that?
They had wooden spikes that they stuck in the wheels to stop them. Oak spikes.
I would think that'd be pretty hard, a coal car with all that coal on there, I don't know how many thousands of pounds it would, to be coming down that hill to be, I don't know that would work out real well.
They got the guy from the railroad with the hook, with the bell.
That'd be a heck of a car to stop. Did anybody have any relatives that worked in the mines around town?
Yeah.
You did?
My father and all my brothers.
Didn't our granddad work?
No. Now, when any of these fellows passed away, was it ever due to black lung? Was that their cause?
Well, they didn't know it at that time. That's been a long time ago. That black lung deal came in not too many years ago.
I had an uncle that died of black lung, and he worked down at the electric plant down there. I think it's called Stratton, Ohio. But I was just wondering if breathing all that stuff, I wondered if any of them died of black lung, or maybe they weren't even diagnosed.
Probably.
Right.
They called it consumption, didn't they?
I think so.
Well, didn't they call it consumption? What was consumption?
That was one of the names for TB, tuberculosis,
Oh.
or consumption.
About any stories about McGraw Tire and Rubber? Have anything?
Anyway.
McGraw Tire and Rubber. Anybody's family ever worked there? Relatives? I've got that 1914 picture. It's about this long, about this high. Must be about 350 guys sitting on that roof. It almost seems like everyone in town works there.
My dad, did it? Hey.
Did he work there a long time?
Isn't that why Dad came?
You don't know?
I don't know.
Yeah, my dad worked there.
And his brothers, they all came to town to work there.
Now this Meek House, big building, right? Big house, 2 wraparound front porches, first and the second level. You guys all knew where that stood? When you come across the railroad tracks on Market Street on the left, you guys remember that big house that was there? Called the Meek House.
Yeah, vaguely.
I don't know really what I was going to ask about, but I just want to see if you guys remembered it.
Was that the one that was the corner of North Avenue and Market?
As soon as you come across that tracks, right there on the left, big house, 3 stories. It had 2 wraparound porches, railroad side and market side. Had a bottom and a top, and had 3 floors in it. Bob Davis was telling me, he actually, I think they had a restaurant in there too. And some of the workers that used to come up on my train used to stay over there. I don't know, rent rooms, I believe. How about the Lincoln Motel?
The what?
Would it have been a Lincoln Motel?
That was.
Or the Huntington Bank.
Huntington Bank?
Yeah.
That big, beautiful building?
Yeah.
Why did they ever tear that down? Was it just old? Was it just,
The bank bought
Bank
the
had
lot for the new bank.
Yeah, the bank bought it.
they just want to go modernized, huh?
Who, Union Commercial?
Union
Yeah.
Commercial, yeah.
Yeah.
Because those pictures I see of that building are just, they're second to none. I mean, the craftsmanship, the pointed roofs, it just looked like one heck of a building to me, and everyone always says, oh man, that was beautiful. Why'd they tear it down?
I think Union Commercial bought it, had it tore down.
And there was a barber shop in it,
Yeah.
public
Library.
library,
Yeah.
Libraries in
a
the-
bank.
They rented rooms out, yeah.
The American Legion used to go up there every Friday or Saturday night and play for the public on that big cement patio on the north side toward the tracks. They had a program every week, the American Legion.
Huh.
They had a big band at one time.
How about,
That was really shy.
how about somebody throw a story to me? You guys got a story up your sleeve? Got it going blank on me.
This isn't a story, but when I first went to work for the school district, there were 6 schools. Now, they're down campus now to 2. There was one in Unity, one at Captain Taggart, one at Negley, the junior high, East North Avenue, and the high school. Now they're down to, I think it's 5th, 6th, and they're in with the junior high and then the high school.
Yep. I moved here in the last half of my 5th grade. I went to East North. And I can always remember the staircases, the woodwork, the banisters.
Yeah.
It was just a beautiful building on the inside. Of course, when I was a kid, I didn't look at it like that, but the older I've gotten, I was like, you know, that's a pretty nice building. It's a shame that something like the Historical Society or somebody's got a little bit of cash and buy that back and restore that because, I mean, it's just, it was built in 1905, the same as the Methodist Church over town at Market in Maine.
We tried to, but it was too expensive.
How much did they want for it at the time that they sold it? Do you remember?
What?
How much did they want for it?
Well, we could have had it for $1, but that was through the city, but we didn't have the money for the repairs. It needed a new roof to begin with and a lot of other repairs, but I don't know how much it sold for afterwards.
I heard a figure, but I'm not sure. It was like 55,000. But
That sounds about right.
I'm not sure. I just heard that figure. I'm not sure it's right.
Remember that big beautiful bell they had on the top of that?
Yeah.
You drive by there now, you can't even tell it was even ever there. Yeah, it's in that picture.
By the way, the bell that was at the Wood Street School, our class of 1939 had that set up at the high school, and that's where that bell is from, at the high school on the front yard there, from the Wood Street School.
I've taken a couple of pictures of that, yeah. Where did that East North Avenue bell ever go? Just, nobody ever knows? Probably.
What?
The East North Avenue, didn't it have a bell up there?
Yeah,
Did they just throw it away?
I don't know, I never heard that.
Huh. That's a shame they didn't save that one. How about, anybody ever hear of an elephant dying at the park, the city at the park, something about a circus we had over there.
That circus was up here behind the Bulldog Restaurant.
That's where the circus was?
That's where the circus was.
And that elephant did die?
He died. He died of moldy hay.
Moldy hay, yeah.
And they had contacted us to pick that elephant up and put him on a trailer. And we took him out what they called the 183 mine, which was Ferris Coal. And that's where they buried him at.
So that myth is actually true.
Yeah.
Because we've asked that on Facebook a couple times, they're like, I ain't never heard no elephant die. So, yeah, I mean, how you gonna pick up a dead elephant? That's dead weight. So,
He weighed about 12,000 pounds, what I remember. That would have been in the mid-60s.
that's 60. Huh. Moldy hay would kill an elephant.
What did you die
I
from?
think they just get sick.
Moldy hay, they claim. And they bought the hay here locally. But
I thought you said moldy
that was the
head.
man's, what he told me at the time.
So you was part of the moving the elephant?
Yeah.
You were there?
I was there.
Did you get any pictures of that?